Okay. Check a couple of things here. Mm-hmm. 40 laps. I have an idea. So I think I actually remember changing the INI. Not laps anyway. There we go. And there we go. Okay. Andrew, Corvette, how are you guys? Just getting some final preparations in place. Ryan, hey buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, so obviously NASCAR is off this and next weekend. The Olympics just kicked off in Paris. I've actually been watching some of the competition. Had an early shift, and I was watching some basketball, handball, field hockey, and then I ended up watching a lot of the men's rugby sevens tournament because I always find that stuff fascinating. So now I'm just kind of having like a thing on YouTube TV where they're showing like 3 events at once, kind of thing. So just kind of seeing what's going on and stuff of that nature. But anyway, today we are doing something fun. We are going to be recreating the 1996 International All-Star. We're going to rewrite that and see what all would have changed and how different things would have played out in this version. So, yeah, it's a rewrite of a rewrite in a way. Or from the rewrite, because big thing with Sunday Night Lights is, of course, rewriting racing history. Just doing some final preparations. I'm watching some crazy badminton. Oh, yeah. That's what I love about the Olympics is, like, a lot of sports are shown that you don't normally watch all the time. Oh yeah, I think I see one of the things showing is okay. I thought I was mentioning Los Angeles because I know Los Angeles is going to host it 4 years from now, so that's gonna be fun. I like to check that out if possible. So yeah. I'll give it a few more minutes time, and actually I'll go ahead and promote that we are live, for that matter. TV8's Diecasts, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Again, just got everything ready to go, and like I said, we will get going on. Here we go. We'll get going on doing the rewrite of the International All-Star from 1996, and we'll discuss the next Racing Infinity, and we'll discuss other updates as well. So we'll start things off with the regular Open, because there was a regular Open, and then there was an All-Star, an International Open, and then I will do the main event. So. Yeah, breakdancing is Olympic sport now. And I think for LA, let's see. I think they're adding cricket, lacrosse, and squash and flag football. Motorsport was being considered for 2028, but unfortunately didn't make the final cut. And I was like, that would have been so cool. Obviously, like, how would you do it if it was actually part of the Olympics? Because, what we did was something a little different. It was kind of like a big event that was leading into Atlanta 96. But with something like this, if it was during the Olympics, I think you could possibly do something like either the Race of Champions thing, which, friendly reminder, Carl Edwards beat Michael Schumacher in that event. Or you can do that. You can also possibly do like a big like endurance kind of race where like you have one car representing Team USA, one car representing Team Spain, one car representing Germany, and stuff of that nature. Something like that. I don't know. It would be really cool to see something like that though, and it would be a fun way for stars from NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, sports cars, supercars, any kind of motorsport in between to come together and race each other. That would be really cool. So, and like I said, the 96 thing was something that was like 2 years in the making. That was an idea that we had and what we really, really wanted to do. And I think it panned out perfectly, honestly. So, let me make this promotional tweet saying, I'm live. Come join the fun. Sure, we'll do that. All right. Yep, Los Angeles in 2028. Yep. Can you believe it, guys? They're going to use a NASCAR track as part of the venues. I'm talking about the LA Coliseum, but it's funny because like I started playing college football 25, and I'll sit there and be like, "Look, guys, there's a NASCAR track in the game." So, yeah, and I think in 32 it's going to be Brisbane. Before I get started, fun fact. My home city, Cincinnati, once bidded for the Olympics. It was for the 2012 games, funny enough. But I know there's a couple of renderings actually online, and you could see like what they had planned. So, all right. Let's see, did I do 1 or 2x? I did 2x. Okay. When you do stuff like this, by the way, when you're creating something like this big alternate timeline, it is important to save your results in your replays. And honestly, I have them archived. Like, I actually have a separate backup drive where I have a lot of that stuff archived. Because I think stuff like that is important. And then after the regular open that I do, I'm going to talk about the next Racing Infinity. And, of course, I'll talk about Sunday Night Lights updates and all that good stuff. So, make sure everything's good. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, cool. I'm going to just go ahead and get things set up here. And so, yeah, I actually had to go back to my results and remember who all ran in the Open, who all ran in the All-Star, and stuff like that. So I'll take some time to... and all that. So I'm working on a top 10 drivers in SNL video. Oh, wow, you are? Oh, yeah, I'd like to see that. That'd be really cool. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see... How do I put it? It's going to be interesting because I feel like already so much has changed. Certain drivers have become stars and they weren't in real life and vice versa and everything else. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, though. That's really cool. Speaking of CFB and Team Builder, do you need the game to use it? In terms of creating a team, you can just go on the Team Builder website and log in or make an account. You can use your Xbox or PlayStation accounts or whatever. There's a lot of options for that, and then you can just make your teams that way. Of course, if you want to play them, you have to have the game. So, all right, I want to make sure I have my Winter 2003. Okay, cool. Make sure I have speakers on, and make sure that it doesn't randomly mute me for no reason throughout the stream.
Drivers, to your cars.
Okay. So Dale Jarrett wins the pole. This is going to be a 40-lap race like it was in SNL 96. Joe Nemechek will start in second. Shauna Robinson third. Morgan Shepherd fourth. And Ward Burton in fifth. That's your top 5 in qualifying. All right.
Drivers, to your cars.
There we go. So like I said, Dale Jarrett, Joe Nemechek, Shauna Robinson, and Morgan Shepherd. Ward Burton, Rodney Orr, Wally Dallenbach, and Rich Vogler. Sterling Marlin and David Green. Clifford Allison, Casey Elliott. Michael Waltrip, Lake Speed. Harry Gant, Chad Little. Robert Presley and Jack Sprague. Steve Grissom, Grant Adcox. Ricky Craven, Bobby Labonte. Loy Allen Jr., Stacy Compton. What's going on here? Tracy Leslie and Elton Sawyer. Steve Seligman and Dave Marcus. And running out the field, Jeff Bodine and Derek Cope. As your starting lineup for the Winston Open for the International All-Star here in Atlanta. We'll get things rocking and rolling here. 30 seconds from the command, and we'll go racing for 40 laps. If I remember correctly... Yeah, okay.
Drivers, start your engines.
The engines are fired and we are rolling. Who do you think wins the 1998 Daytona 500 in SNL? Well, I do know the answer. I'm not going to say anything. But I do know the answer. I'll say that. So, yeah, I think in general, 98 is going to be a pretty big season. So, I would say buckle up, strap in. It's going to be a fun ride. So with all that being said, 40 laps for the regular Open. Winner advances to the International All-Star. Dale Jarrett, Joe Nemechek, Shauna Robinson, Morgan Shepherd lead the field to the green flag. And we are underway in Atlanta. And it looks like Jarrett's going to try and clear Nemechek coming off 2. Unsuccessful, though. And Joe Nemechek hangs tough. Nemechek on the outside. He's going to lead lap 1. He's going to try and clear Dale Jarrett going into turn 1. He is unable to. But now off turn 2, he will do so. Dale Jarrett second, Shauna Robinson third, and then it's Shepard and Orr as they head into turns 3 and 4. Shepard and Robinson side by side for third place. Shepard trying to take that position away. Robinson trying to hang on. Dale Jarrett still all over the back of Joe Nemechek. Now Rodney Orr is entering the mix here. Impressive run for him. You will find out soon regarding who wins the 500 and regarding what happens with Johnny Nemechek and whoever else. Everything will come ahead, and it'll definitely be worth the wait for sure. Robinson tries to work with Shepard to stay in front of Rodney Orr. She is successful. She settles for fourth place with Morgan Shepard in front of her. And now they're going to use the 32 as a pick. And now Robinson to the inside of Shepard. She's going to go back up to third as Joe Nemechek continues to pull away. Maybe she's going to try and get past the 32 of Dale Jarrett. There's Wally Dallenbach Jr. in the 16 as well, up there in the mix. Can Shauna get to second? A pack of hungry drivers trying to make perhaps one of the biggest events in NASCAR history. And Robinson to the inside of Dale Jarrett. She has the advantage for now. She's got a bit of a push from Dallenbach in the 16. Robinson clears for second, Dallenbach to third. And now she's going to go to work on the leader, Joe Nemechek. Can she reel him in? We are 8 laps complete here at Atlanta. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. I appreciate it. We see Sterling Marlin jumping into the mix there. Now Marlin to the inside of Robinson. Well, we got a nice battle here for second. It is still Joe Nemechek. Front row Joe out in front in that tied number 5 machine for Hendrick Motorsports. And we are 1/4 of the way through this race. And look at this. Sterling Marlin is there. He has chased down Joe Nemechek. And now going into turns 3 and 4, Marlin's got the chance. He's going to get past Nemechek. He will potentially clear him. Nemechek, though, fights back on the outside. Coming off 4 and back to the start-finish line. Nemechek leads that one. Now back comes Sterling Marlin. Still side by side for the lead and a spot in the International All-Stars. They go down the backstretch. Marlin driving for Junior Johnson. Nemechek driving for Hendrick. Marlin seems to have the upper hand. He's going to lead that lap barely. And he head into turn 1. Can Marlin clear the 5? The answer is going to be yes. Now it's Sterling Marlin leading the way. Nemechek second, Wally Dallenbach third, Rodney Orr fourth, Shauna Robinson fifth. While this race is going on, to any of you watching the Olympic Games, do you guys have a particular favorite Olympic sport that you like to watch? Feel free to comment that. As this race moves along, coming to lap 14, Marlin has a bit of a gap now on second place, Joe Nemechek. Marlin with a 0.3 second lead. 15 laps are complete. The 100-meter dash, there's nothing wrong with that. It's always fun to watch. Like I said, I was watching the Rugby Sevens tournament earlier today, and I got a kick out of it. So, rugby is non-stop like soccer, but it's also like football, American football without padding. And it's a very physical game, but Rugby Sevens is essentially 7-on-7, two 7-minute halves. And they could literally get an entire tournament done in like 1 or 2 days because of that. So it's a very quick-paced, it's a very fast-paced game compared to the regular rugby union. So I saw that France took home the gold, beating Fiji, who won it the previous 2 times it's been in the games. I watched the U.S. was also in it. Unfortunately, well, just shows that there are better countries than us at rugby. Gymnastics and swimming, yep. Swimming's always fun. Of course, grew up watching Michael Phelps and just how good he was, and obviously the U.S. gymnastics team is always fun to watch. Joe Nemechek, meanwhile, has chased down Sterling Marlin once again. How about Rodney Orr up to third? What a story that would be if he could make the International All-Star. He's got some work to do, though. He's still a bit of ways back from Nemechek and Marlin. And Shauna Robinson knocking on the door for third, perhaps. Handball is always a fun sport, too. And here we go. Battle for the lead. Nemechek back to the inside of Marlin. They're side by side once again. So far, these two have been the class of the field as we're about halfway in the Winston Open. Nemechek has the advantage as they head into turn 3, and he's going to clear Sterling Marlin. Joe Nemechek back out in front. I don't watch the Olympics that much. I'll say skateboarding. Yeah, they added skateboarding for the 2020 Olympics, which I think it's a good addition. You know, it's amazing how many Olympic sports are being added now. It kind of shakes things up though, and introduces different sports to the world. I was happy that they added, well, just for 2020, that they brought baseball and softball back. And I know they're going to do it again in 28. I mean, 24, baseball's not as big of a deal in France, but Marlin has not given up. Meanwhile, he is all over the back of Joe Nemechek. He wants that lead. Shauna Robinson to the inside of Rodney Orr for third. Will you do an SNL Rewind Part 3, which covers the year? That just depends. It's one of those things where we get there when we get there. And there's a couple things I'll clarify involving future years with something. But I'm also watching the Paris games from Australia. Oh, nice. Yeah, I know Australia, they're going to get the 2032 games in Brisbane, so. And I know they just announced the 2030 Winter Olympics are going to be in the French Alps, and 2034 it's going to be in Salt Lake. 23 laps complete, coming to lap 24. It's been Nemechek and Marlin duking it out here to make the International All-Star. There is a lapped car ahead. That is Steve Sligman in the 65 car. They're catching him pretty quick, so hopefully he won't play too much of a factor as they catch him. But Marlin's not going to waste time. He's going to go to the inside here. Whether that's a good or bad idea, we're going to find out. So far, it may be a bad idea as he's stuck behind the 65. Now the 65 is going to go up in front of the 5. I'm sure Joe Nemechek is not going to be happy with that. And Sterling Marlin pulls away with the lead. And I'm sure Nemechek expressing a little bit of displeasure towards the 65, like, hey, you didn't have to do that. So yeah, Marlin now has a lead, but now Nemechek, he's got a fast car. He's going to try and reel him back in. The opening ceremonies of the 2012 games were goated. Yeah, I agree. This year's was pretty unique too because they did things a little differently. Instead of doing it in the big stadium, they did it on the river and everything else, and I just thought it was a really cool setup. It sucked that it rained, but you know, us NASCAR fans are too much familiar with rain at this point. Who wins the 98 to 2005 Daytona 500s in SNL? Well, it's hard to say, you know. It's hard to say what the Cup Series will look like even in a couple of seasons, really. You know. Oh, I get the clap emojis, Ryan. Yes, I believe in Joe Hendry. Just look up Joe Hendry. You'll understand real quick. All you have to do is say his name, and he will appear. What a guy. Getting close to 10 to go here. Yeah, Sterling Marlin continues to lead. Still got a bit of a gap on Nemechek. That rock performance that people thought was satanic was visually cool. I feel like with heavy metal, that's like the first thing they jump to. Oh, it's satanic, but no, I loved it. It surprised me because I was sitting there like, oh, we got heavy metal. How about that? So that was cool. I think let's see. I think we do have green flag pit stops because yep, I remember I had the 2X setting for this race. So that's what's going to happen here. And besides this, the Open, I feel like, you know, we've had all-star races in the past where it's like, you know, you need to at least make a 4-tire stop or something. So it's going to be interesting to see how everything shapes up when those pit stops are completed. We have about 11 laps to go. But yeah, what was the name of that French metal band that performed yesterday at the opening ceremony? It started with a G. Gojira, I think it was, or something like that. I thought they sounded great. And with the opera feeling I had to it, it reminded me a lot of this Finnish metal band I like called Nightwish. Yeah, I thought they sounded great. It was just like, wow, they threw metal into the Olympic opening ceremony. How cool is that? So, it was good to have the spectators back. Yeah, oh yeah. I feel bad for Tokyo. Especially with an event like that where you spend almost a decade planning an event like that. And suddenly it's like, bam, you know, this worldwide virus happens and, you know, they had to push it back a year. And that's what's weird, too, because it feels like the Tokyo Games were yesterday. But it does feel that way because they were in 2021. So, again, it's nice to have a bit of normalcy finally. So, it's nice. It's nice. So, Marlin makes his way off pit road. He gets back up to speed. Don't say it. What, Joe Hendry? Anyway, if there will be an International All-Star Race in 2024 for NASCAR, I would love to see Daniel Suarez represent Mexico. Oh, certainly. That would be cool. I think Jason Leveler wins the 2001 Daytona 500. Mike Puss wins the 03. Yeah, like I said, I can't... I don't even know who's going to win those, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. Yeah, motorsports being in the Olympics would just be really cool overall because it is an international thing, And I have a feeling there would be some guys in NASCAR who would love to do that. I think Kyle Larson would be a guy who'd love to be a part of that. Probably SVG too. Of course, he'd represent New Zealand, but still. Yeah, just be something cool. All right, pit stops have cycled through. Sterling Marlin now has a 1.7 second lead on Joe Nemechek, so pit stops really worked out well in his favor. Shauna Robinson sits in third, and unless a miracle happens, Marlin might be taking this one home, and he will advance to the International All-Star race. There's a song uploaded in 2009 called Shadows that was mislabeled as a Nightwish song. The actual artist is still unknown. Really? Huh. I didn't know that. I've seen Nightwish live a couple of times when they come to America and play. Fleur Jansen is a fantastic singer. They've had 3 different singers. They are all amazing. The first time I saw them with Delane, and then about a year later I saw them with Delane and Sonata Arctica. Now another unique metal band that I recommend is Sabaton. They are from Sweden, and their albums and music is like a big history lesson. I know their most recent album was actually based around World War I, so it's kind of cool what they do with their music. If baseball and gridiron football were in the 2024 Olympics, MLB and NFL players will be taking a rest for an Olympic break period. I'd love to see, if they do baseball, I'd love to see the MLB stars come over and play, but I know the owners and all the owners will probably have a huge issue with that, so, because, money, I like that the NHL did it, because, again, it just gives players a chance to go play for their home country, because I think, I think they should have that opportunity, but unfortunately, money's involved and all that, typical business stuff. But it would be cool to see. It would be cool to see. It would have been cool to see players like, Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina represent their home countries. Anyway, 2 laps to go here. Marlin still with a good-sized lead. There is an international federation for American football, and I guarantee you if they use actual NFL players, the U.S. would probably win every game by triple digits. Like, if you had Pat Mahomes and Justin Jefferson out there, they would be running the score up like 105-6, Oh, man, I couldn't help but say that. Pierre Stadium. Interesting. Final lap of the Open, and then we'll get to the International Open in just a few moments. Off turn 4, Sterling Marlin wins the Winston Open. Joe Nemechek second. And with that, Marlon will advance to the International All-Star. Can't wait for SNL 98. Been setting up some AI races. Yeah, always fun. Like I said, 98's going to be a lot of fun. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So I'll give you guys updates on that here in just a bit. So, all right. So, here's your final results. I'll leave those up there for a moment. And we'll get the International Open set. I'll get the International Open set. So, the next thing I want to talk about, though, involves the Next Racing Infinity. So, or, let's see here. Yeah, I'll go ahead. So, the Next Racing Infinity will involve, as I'm about to show you a little sneak peek at what it's going to look like. Give me a second here to find it. Yeah, a lot of screenshots saved. Yeah, can't speak. So you take a look at that for a moment. Alright. Let me turn off the speaker so that's not annoying. So, the Next Racing Infinity, I figured would be rather appropriate because we are during the Olympics right now. So, I want to clarify what I'm doing here. This is, out of the gate, I want to point this out. This is not an International All-Star race that I'm doing. It's not International All-Star like you saw in SNL 96. It's just basically going to be a different kind of an exhibition that still offers a good international flair. So yeah, that's what the Next Racing Infinity involves. It is a special exhibition race with an international flair on international soil, but it is not an International All-Star. I just want to clarify that right out of the gate so there's no confusion or anything like that. But I've been working on that, working on the video a lot this weekend, and I'm going to get that out next weekend. That is the plan for that. So yeah, the track we are using is called Paris Circuit. It's a track made by Action Pack Tracks, the same folks that actually made the Atlanta track that you just saw that I have been using all this time for Sunday Night Lights. That's the track I've been using, so just wanted to point that out real quick. Let's see. What was the other thing I wanted to bring up? Okay. So, I will also point out, if anybody asks, there will not be a 1998 International All-Star, because I know the Winter Olympics take place in Nagano, Japan. I am leaving future Summer Olympics right now as to be determined based on what everything looks like when we get to that point. So again, I just wanted to point a couple things out regarding that. But yeah, the Next Racing Infinity is just going to be a fun exhibition race in Paris, celebrating the Olympics, of course. and all that fun stuff. So it's going to, of course, involve the current NASCAR Cup Series for 2024. And, yeah. So I've already done the race, and I've been working on the video. Things are coming along pretty well there. So the plan is to have that out next weekend. So that is the plan for that. Excuse me. Let's see. I had an idea for a future Racing Infinity video. What if the 2005 F1 US Grand Prix was run with a full field? Well, that could be an interesting one. Because that was, of course, the one that had all the tire controversies and like 6 cars ran the race. that could be interesting. But yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. I'll run the internet. I'll get the International All-Star set up really quick. And then after I run that race, I will talk about updates for Sunday Night Lights. So let me get all this fun stuff taken care of. Let me pull up my actual results from 96. And I am hoping that Streamlabs doesn't be a jerk and mutes me. Because I don't know why, but like when I minimize the windows, I'm still like streaming or something. It just randomly, it just randomly mutes me. And I'm like, what the heck? So, okay, there was 60 laps in this one. Right. Okay. I still... Okay, cool. Cool, it didn't mute me. How cool is that? Alright, let me get all those cars ready. 1, 2, 3... 4... 5, 6... That's 6... 7... 8... 9... 10, 11... 12, 13, 14... 15, 16... 17... 18, 19, and that should make 20. Perfect. All right. Oh, right. There we go. There we go. That's all 20. Oh, right. I should. In order to update that, I have to close the game out and open it back up. There we go. Okay. Did you account for the Winston West drivers in the SNL version of the first Brickyard 400? Looking back on that, I tried to do the best I could because I knew every single car wasn't going to be available. And, of course, like, 86 drivers attempted the first Brickyard 400, which is wild. Oh! You know, I don't think I really talked about my trip in Indy. Sunday, they actually had some of the drivers from the very first Brickyard 400. I got a poster signed by those drivers. So they had Ernie Irvan, Ricky Rudd, Hut Strickland, Rick Mast, Bobby Hillin Jr., and Morgan Shepherd. I think that's all of them. So yeah, I got autographs from all those guys, and it was just really cool getting to meet some of the guys that really helped shape NASCAR to what it is now, especially meeting a guy like Ricky Rudd, and of course Morgan Shepherd, a guy who's just been in this business forever, and I can't help but have respect for those guys. It was a fun weekend, and of course it was a great way to celebrate all the retro and celebrate the 30th running of, or not the 30th running, but the 30th anniversary of the first Brickyard 400. So it was a lot of fun. They had Jeff Gordon's 94 Win car in the Chevy stand. And I can't help but think about, like, in the SNL timeline now, imagine, like, Ford has a stand and Wally Dallenbach's car's there. Or, like, you'd know for a fact Shauna Robinson's 96 car would be there. I mean, come on. So, it's just cool thinking about that kind of stuff. And that's why I had to make the tweet, the post, the community post you may have noticed about, like, what do you think's going to happen in the next Brickyard 400? So, for Sunday Night Lights. So, I'm glad it's back on the oval. It's a crown jewel. And I looked on Racing Reference. There were double the amount of green flag passes in this race than the one from 2020 when it was still with the Gen 6. So, and I thought the race was fun. I couldn't really tell who was going to win until the very end there. From where I was sitting, it was on the front stretch. I'm looking at right at the big scoring pylon, and it was fun watching Kyle Larson work his way through the field. Everybody's just cheering him. The crowd was loud and energetic. And even they were cheering loudly when Denny Hamlin wrecked, or even Joey Logano. So, yeah, I mean, it was it was a good crowd. I know, look, I was there in 2005 when I was 8. 200,000 people were there. But completely different time then compared to now. But still, we had a good crowd. I think they said like 70,000, which, that's good. 70,000, that's really good. So, overall, I had a lot of fun. Friday, I hung out at IRP. Shout out to Brayton Laster and his folks for letting me and my friend hang out with them again. I took some photos as well. I still need to gather those together and share them. But yeah, I overall had a really fun time. And then Saturday was the Xfinity race. Sat in turn 1, and that was a fun finish. That was a really fun finish, and of course SVG got 4th. It was funny because I was wearing an SVG shirt and hat that I got at Gateway, and I had people coming up to me after the race like, "Hey man, SVG's the real deal." I'm like, "Yeah, he is." So it's kind of cool hearing that from people. They're like, "Man, this guy's doing really well." So, it's exciting to be a NASCAR fan. It's really exciting. It's really exciting. A lot of people might not have known this, but Mike Chase had to switch since AJ Foyt. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because AJ Foyt had the 50 for a bit. I remember that. Yep, about 70,000. I actually got my Online Racing Leagues logo on Brayton Laster's car in Salem last year. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I know he's running Salem tonight. That's awesome. Yeah, Brayton's a good dude. Yeah, just a great dude. Let's see. The Xfinity race was so good. Riley Herbst is starting to come into his own, like Davey Allison in SNL. Yeah, I was kind of cheering for Riley because I just wanted to. I think that a win like that was going to be huge for him, and I know that Haas's new team offered an Xfinity seat. And I know he kind of wants to go to the Cup Series, and next thing I know, I see Denny Hamlin tweeting, "Impressive." I'm like, all right. I think we know where you're getting at, but we'll see what all happens there. It is time for NASCAR to bring. Is it time to bring back the off-season exhibition in Australia? Well, time will tell. We're still kind of toying around with that idea and everything else. So, of course, when the video comes out, you'll know everything about the schedule for '98 and everything else. So, we're gonna keep going. There's a lot of exciting things we want to do, and all that. So, I'll talk about '98 updates here after the International Open. So, with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed that little teaser image of what is to come for the next Racing Infinity. Let me switch back over to the original picture I was using. And, of course, a special thanks to Jets Racing Designs for making these thumbnails and all that. Very thankful for that. Who else would have special memorials and statues at Crown Jewel Museums? Does Tom Miguel have a statue with him holding the... I mean, I feel like there's got to be something, right? Since he won it. Like a thing for all the 500 winners. Obviously, you got to think Shauna Robinson in 94, Kelly Earnhardt in 97. Those would be big. For sure. For sure. I know with the success of SVG and the appearances of Cam Waters, Will Brown, and Brady Kostecki in NASCAR could possibly happen. Surely. I always said, want to do something fun with the Clash. I said, why not just slap a race at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, get 100,000 crazy Australians in there, you might have a good time. And I'm not going to lie, I look at Stade de France in Paris. They were hosting the Rugby Sevens competitions. I'm not going to lie, that place would actually be a fun place to put a race in there too. Just like, like the Clash or something along the lines of that. All right. So, let's get on now to the International Open. Patty Moyes has a statue. Oh, I'm sure she would. I mean, that Michigan race in '89 is practically what changed everything in this timeline. So I do think in this timeline, yes, there would be something for Patty Moyes. In this timeline for sure, I think there would be. Because I mean, like, her and Shauna practically broke the sports world. So in a good way, right? So it's like something that felt unprecedented. Like, oh wow, NASCAR has kind of been becoming this big co-ed sport in a way. So, do I have the race and everything? Okay, cool. Okay. Just double checking to make sure things are good. Alright. So, Ari Leidendijk on the pole. Christian Fittipaldi will start second, followed by Alessio Salazar, Eddie Irvine, Gerald Berger, I'm going to mispronounce some of these names, Martin Brundle, Kenny Brack, who, of course, in '96 and in this timeline won the International Open, Glenn Seton, Mika Hakkinen, Jim Richards, Vincenzio Suspiri, Yannick Dalmas, Sakia, Schumacher, Coulthard, Ayrton Senna, Mario Andretti, Villeneuve, Ratzenberger, and Alessi. And that's our starting lineup there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm hoping they bring back Project 91. I think they will at some point. Wouldn't be too surprised if Trackhouses try to focus on certain things right now. Yeah, I'd like to see Kimmy back in a cup car again. That'd be really cool. I mean, I think it's a cool concept that Trackhouse has been doing that with Project 91 is, hey, let's take this car and use it for these international drivers. And, oh, what do you know? We used that car to create a massive viral moment last year in Chicago with Shane Van Gisbergen. So, ta-da! Actually, I have a diecast of both Van Gisbergen and Raikkonen's cars to my right, above my bed. Fun fact. Oh god, if Kimi Raikkonen won a cup race on a road course, that would be wild. I mean, that would be cool if Kimi could pull that off. And of course, there's other drivers too, right? So it'll be interesting to see what Justin Marks does there. I just really like what he's doing with Trackhouse. So could SNL see some female drivers from outside the U.S.? Excuse me. I'd say anything's possible. You know, you never know, right? That's kind of the biggest thing. So anything, in my opinion, is possible, and I think this timeline has shown that. So, and with that, let's get the cars rolling, and let's get the International Open underway, and then we'll do the International All-Star. Yep, stage 60. Yep, I like that too. That RFK and Trackhouse have both kind of been doing that. And I gotta give a massive kudos to Brad Keselowski. He has done a tremendous job turning around that team. And RFK has now been one of the better Ford teams. So that's good to see. It's good to see. Maybe SVG goes to Ford in 2026 and Red Bull. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if SVG is the reason Red Bull starts sponsoring cars again. It is an interesting situation with Corey LaJoie departing Spire, and then you look at, Zane Smith's situation. He's under contract with Trackhouse, and then you look at SVG. Do you put him in the Cup car? Because I know Trackhouse is trying to get a charter, one of the SHR charters, so there's a lot to go. There's a lot to talk about there. But meanwhile, the International Open is officially underway as Ari Leidendijk and Christian Fittipaldi lead the field to the green flag. And I remember it was the top 3 from the International Open. So top 3 will go to the International All-Star. Of course, Leidendijk was one of the 3 to get into the International All-Star when we did it in 96. And Leidendijk will lead lap 1. Fittipaldi to the outside. You got Salazar in 3rd. Yeah, that is Salazar. Oops, sorry. Salazar to the inside of Fittipaldi. Maybe LaJoie goes to the 34. Yeah, I don't know where LaJoie goes. Hopefully he can, help recollect himself a little bit and get back on the right track. But yeah, Trackhouse situation is interesting. They could put Zane in the 7 and have him team up with Childers. If SVG, because I do think the SVG thing does kind of throw a wrench into things. And look at Kenny Brack working his way up to 2nd place now. Not only that, he's got the number 48 of Mika Hakkinen right behind him. Side by side for the lead now. It's Leidendijk and Brack. New leader, Kenny Brack, in the 63 in that Petty Enterprises machine. H&M sponsoring that car. He's got a bit of a help there from the 48 of Hakkinen. I know a lot of people have also said that Kyle Busch could go to the 7. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I guess anything's possible, right? 2311 gets... Yeah, I think they get a third charter. I automatically assumed Corey Heim was going to that car. I'm kind of surprised that, Riley Herbst is now being considered, but I don't know. We'll see how things play out there. I want Ryan Preece to win at Daytona for sweet redemption from what happened in 2023. Yeah, I mean, that would be something. Obviously, that was one of the most wildest wrecks I've ever seen. Battle for the lead up front. Mika Hakkinen and Kenny Brack battling for the lead. And battling for that final spot is between Leidendijk and Fittipaldi as Hakkinen takes the lead in that 48 machine. Yes, and as you remember, Jets Racing Designs made all but one of these schemes. I made the 91 car for Fittipaldi, you see in third, but everything else here was made by Jets Racing Designs. They all came out beautifully. Just some beautiful race cars here. Yeah, I heard about Deegan potentially going to Haas. I guess. I mean, she struggled a lot, and it's hard to say what will happen. Maybe that's where she needs to go. I don't know. So, who knows? 10 laps complete. The top three, Hakkinen, Brock, and Fittipaldi. But Fittipaldi now looks to the inside of Brack. I mean, yeah, it'd be great to see Haley Deegan win, or Tony Breidinger, or someone like that. Just to get that big win by a female. Because I think that would be a big deal for NASCAR. I mean, knowing the fact that Sunday Night Lights, we've already beaten it to the punch, but... Salazar up to fourth, but guess who is in fifth? It's Schumi. Michael Schumacher up in fifth now in the 32. Now remember, you can find these cars on Studon. I just want a real-life Michigan 89 moment. Right? Yeah. that would be pretty neat. A lot of fun competition in this one. Schumacher to the inside of Salazar for fourth. If Haley Deegan wins with Haas Factory, the Xfinity Series, we'll see a real female movement, I think. Yeah, I think so. Sometimes it takes that one, Meanwhile, new leader, Kenny Brack, is back out in front. He gets past Hakkinen in the 48. Christian Fittipaldi there in third. Excuse me. Yeah, I saw Tony run in the ARCA race in the Raising Cane's car, and unfortunately got taken out in a wreck late. I mean, her winning in ARCA could be a big deal for sure. I'd love to see it happen. Fittipaldi and Hakkinen battle for second as Kenny Brack continues to lead. Salazar now to the inside of Schumacher. You could even say that a female movement would start with one thing. I don't know why. Ah, Jet, you think you're slick. It starts with one thing. I don't know why it doesn't. I shouldn't start singing it because, I might get copywritten. May get an email saying, your stream has been demonetized because you referenced a song for 3 seconds or something like that. Anyway. It's so annoying. Anyway, Brack, continues to lead, but now he's under fire from Christian Fittipaldi. I love Linkin Park's music, so that was a welcome surprise. Hey, there you go. Yeah, I Linkin Park is definitely one of my favorites of all time. Who do you think would be a possibility for a real life international all-star race in 2024? That's a good question. I think there's a lot of good viable candidates. That's something that I would have to definitely think on for sure. If that to look at a hypothetical situation like that. Meanwhile, new driver in third. It's Michael Schumacher, and now he wants second from Fittipaldi. Meanwhile, Kenny Brack continuing to be very impressive here in that 63. Fittipaldi on the outside of Brack. He continues side by side for the lead. There's a good amount of cars in contention right here. This is actually getting really interesting here. 21 laps complete now. Schumacher back to the inside of Fittipaldi. He's going to take second. Can Michael Schumacher take the lead as Hakkinen jumps up to third? What I've done, oh yeah, that's a masterpiece for sure. It's amazing to me that song's been used as a meme, like, insert show or movie here, but it was released in 2007. I'm like, I know where this is going. It would be interesting. It depends. I think what helps with SVG and how he was able to win was, I think transitioning from supercars to stock cars is a lot easier than going from a Formula One car to a stock car. So that's something to think about for sure. It's a big transition going from F1 to stock cars. We saw that in the late 2000s and early 2010s. But I guess you never know, right? So, meanwhile, out in front, it is still Kenny Brack in the 63. Mika Hakkinen to the inside of Michael Schumacher. I'm sure those two know each other very well. Up to fourth, meanwhile, is Jim Richards in the 47. Excuse me. New Divide and Breaking the Habit are great songs that don't get talked about nearly as much. When I was a band student in high school, I was a trumpet player growing up. At one point, I actually figured out how to play New Divide on the trumpet on my own. I don't know if it was perfect, but it sounded pretty close. I definitely love that song. Well, Juan Pablo Montoya. Yeah, Montoya and Stewart have been able to pull it off, and to an extent, Robbie Gordon. So, Verstappen could. Maybe Lewis Hamilton could. Everyone's a little different, right? So you just never know till it happens. The question is, would Verstappen be interested in running a stock car? I mean, with the success he's had, eventually maybe you want to branch out and try different things down the road. So, Brack is back and almost black. That is true. That is true. That is true. Man, Kenny Brack is killing it. Yes, that is correct. The 93 EA Sports car was used for that, for the Suzuka exhibition race. That is correct. And yeah, Kenny Brack was supposed to run the 2002 Daytona 500. Yep. That would have been cool to see. All right, we are halfway through the International Open. Kenny Brack still leads. Michael Schumacher is second. Mika Hakkinen is third. Jim Richards fourth. And Vincenzo Suspiri is fifth. I think I pronounced that correctly. Anyway. Meanwhile, on my TV in the background, I have like a thing that YouTube TV has where it's like showing 3 events at once. Of course, it's all delayed because I know Germany and Japan played in basketball earlier. And we got a couple of field hockey games on as well. But yeah, Kenny Brack, there was plans for him to attempt the 2002 Daytona 500. And after this race, I'll discuss updates with SNL 98. And because we're getting closer. And we'll go from there. Then we'll do the International All-Star. And we'll be on our way. He's gotten a little quiet here lately. As the F3000 champion continues to impress. The ARCA website is glitched and says Null is leading the race. Whoops. Oh, that's right. Let me have that on in the background. Might as well have that running in the background. So Sawalich is leading, followed by Scott Perez, Corey Day, Gus Dean. Well, Will Kimmel is 7th. Good run for him. Brayton Laster is 13th. Anyway. Yeah, one of these days I need to get out to Salem. Why didn't Brack race in the 500? I don't know the full story. My guess is something fell through, is my guess. I'm trying to remember the whole story behind that. Oh, there's Rita Goulet. I got to chat with her and Tim of Rise Motorsports. They are just some really nice people. And I guess I haven't brought it up yet. Some of you may remember that my friend Michael and I had a podcast. We're still working all the details out and everything else, but we are actually scheduled to have an interview with Tim Goulet of Rise Motorsports, and we are bringing back the podcast. So, just a fun announcement there. I figured I'd bring that up real quick. So anyway, Brack still leads. Battle for second between the 48 of Hakkinen and the 32 of Schumacher. And how about Yannick Dalmas getting up to 4th place? That's another Penske Ford. Meanwhile, Fittipaldi and Salisbury are battling for position. And a lot of movers through the field. As a matter of fact, Roland Ratzenberger in that MTV Ford jumps up to 9th. He started way in the back. I think he started like last or second to dead last. So very impressive run made by him as Kenny Brack continues to lead. Yeah, around this time in the SNL timeline, yeah, Castroneves was just now getting into the big leagues and all that. Oh, Rita. Oh, gosh. Ah, bummer. I was just looking at the ARCA race. It looked like the 31 of Rita Goulet just about spun there, but she saved it. Again, those people at Rise are just really, really nice people. So I mean, you know, they started this up and they've come a long way with their program. I could tell that track looks really bumpy. Gosh, that track looks like it hasn't been repaved since the Johnson administration. Good Lord. Anyway. Oh, yeah, the MTV scheme. Yeah. Yeah, Jet made that one. You could thank MTV for being too stylish for their own good. Yeah, I mean... I'll let you guys get a good look at that car. Because, woo, 90s nostalgia. Yeah, that's Roland Ratzenberger in that car. So the 3 drivers to transfer right now are the 63, the 48, and the 32. 15 laps do remain as Dalmas and Fittipaldi are trying to push their way into the equation. Mario Andretti and Roland Ratzenberger battling for ninth. And Ari Leindyke has fallen all the way back to 11th place. Every car in this field I seriously consider the sponsor and driver's appearance at the time. Do I remember every detail today? Absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, so much it was involved. So much was involved planning all this, and there was this race in particular, which is why I kept saying like 96 is going to be a big deal, and we showcased why, because we've done something that NASCAR has never done before in real life. So, and looking back on it, I think all that was a success. Everything went well. And I think it went perfectly when all things considered. So we are coming to 11 laps to go when we get back to the start and finish line. Kenny Brack continues to lead and dominate even. He continues to dominate this race. Schumacher and Hakkinen currently hold the other two transfer spots, but Yannick Dalmas and Christian Fittipaldi are there to steal it. They are there to pounce as Kenny Brack continues to hit his marks. Yeah, it was literally years in the making to doing it, because this was something like, this would be really cool if we did something like this, because this was going back to like the earlier years of doing SNL. This was something that we've always wanted to do, and I think it went really well. And I think we look back on that and smile, and we know that we created something very special. And again, in terms of international all-stars and excuse me, I had to clear my throat for a moment. Would I do this again? Absolutely. But when it comes to doing it for 2000 or 2004, that's still to be determined. It's based on how everything looks like when we get to that point. And we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And Kenny Brack is under pressure for the first time in a while. Michael Schumacher on to the inside, a guy that doesn't have much oval racing experience. They're side by side down the backstretch, and this could make things very interesting. Regardless what happens, though, it's been a very impressive performance by Kenny Brack. But Schumacher is to the inside. They're still side by side off turn 4 here in the closing stages of the International Open. Things are getting pretty interesting here. Can Kenny Brack hang on, or can Schumacher pull away? Schumacher is going to pull away. And Michael Schumacher leads with 7 laps to go. Can Brack fight back, or will Schumi win this one? Kenny Brack gets back in line. Can he get some momentum again as they come off turn for number 4? 6 laps remain. And Kenny Brack back to the inside of Schumacher. Brack said, "No, you don't. You're not getting away with this that easily." Hakkinen and Damas are there to pounce. Brack with all the momentum in the turns 3 and 4. Kenny Brack back out in front. 5 laps remain. We could be getting ready for one of those classic Atlanta finishes for sure. Keep your eyes peeled. As to the inside of Schumacher is Mika Hakkinen. If Hakkinen takes that spot, then Dalmas could potentially steal from who is his teammate for this race. They're both driving for the captain, Roger Penske. 4 to go for Kenny Brack. In the grand scheme of things for the International Open, can he go Brack to Brack? Schumacher tried to challenge Kenny Brack, and now he is dropping back. He is now in danger of not making the International All-Star as Yannick Damas is there ready to take third away. Schumacher trying to drive it in deep in turns 3 and 4, but it's not working, and Yannick Damas is going to take third place away from Schumacher. 3 laps to go. And the question is, can Hakkinen catch Kenny Brack, or is Brack going to run away with this? Remember, it was this reason when he won the International Open in 96, he decided to do some NASCAR races in 97 in this timeline. Kenny Brack, a lap and a half away from winning the International Open. Off turn 4. White flag. Final lap of the International Open for Kenny Brack. It looks like he and Hakkinen are going to hang on, but battle for this final spot's getting interesting. It's Fittipaldi versus Damas, and of course Salazar and Schumacher are still there. Into turns 3 and 4 for the final time in this race, it's going to be the F3000 champion, Kenny Brack, winning the International Open. Mika Hakkinen will be second, and Christian Fittipaldi gets that third spot. How about that? So just like in the actual International Open, it's Kenny Brack winning the Open. He goes, yes, you could say he went Brack to Brack. Puns. Puns. Give me a second here. I need to throw in something. And that's not what I wanted it to look like. Let me fix that. Yeah, that works. There we go. Yeah, we're practically reusing the graphic that we had for the video. That was easy. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, I'll let you look at the final results. And of course, I showed you guys the teaser for Racing Infinity Volume 27 earlier. And then I will give you guys an update regarding Sunday Night Lights 1998. Whew. Yeah, I hope you guys have had a wonderful start to your weekend. So yeah, Kenny Brack, Mika Hakkinen, Christian Fittipaldi, they will advance. And then Yannick Damas was 4th, Schumacher 5th, Salazar 6th, Richard 7th, Susbury 8th, Ratzenberger 9th, and Mario Andretti was 10th. Leidendijk was 11th, Eddie Irvine was 12th, Martin Brundle 13th, Satin was 14th, Coulthard was 15th, Berger was 16th, Villeneuve was 17th, Sakia was 18th, Ayrton Senna 19th, and Alessi was 20th. Bet on No promise I'll make a new one for the main event. That took a while. Yes, those were really special graphics that we put together for that. All right, so Alright. I am actually going to make a quick bathroom break. I'll be back in a moment. And then I will discuss SNL 98 and all that. So hang tight for a moment. I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, I'm back. I am back. Sorry, I had to run to the restroom real quick. Wow, Corey Day. He's up to third in the ARCA race. Let me adjust my... Allow me to hijack the stream. Alright. Let's see. Okay. So, maybe I might try and do a little multitasking if I can. Let's see. 96. Okay. So with SNL 98, here's the big update. Practically the Cup Series season is done. We have crowned a champion. What else? I still need to do the All-Star and the international, just a couple more exhibitions to do, and pretty much be done, and video production will begin immediately after. So yeah, pretty much after this next Racing Infinity, I'm going all out with the Sunday Night Lights video, and we're gonna get that out in August. That's the plan. So that's what we're looking at. I hope I didn't get muted. Oh, thank God. Okay. That would really suck if I started saying all that and suddenly... Let's see, it was Hakkinen, Brack, Fittipaldi. Okay. Actually... Let me look at something. Ew. Oh, that's right. Okay. It was the top two from the regular Open and the third. Okay. That's right. Okay. Okay. So even sometimes I don't remember every detail. But guess what? I saved the results. So I can actually go back and say Nemec. So, okay. Joe Nemechek will also be in the International All-Star. That's something I forgot. My bad on my end. Apologies for that. We'll go from there. Let's see. Let's see if I can find the right cars. This will take me a moment. Oh, okay, there's the Jeff Gordon Olympics game. Let's see. So 30 cars? Okay. Oh, Jake Finch just wrecked. Oh, goodness. Yeah, his day's done. Alright, just give me a bit here and I'll get this all sorted. Okay, there's that. I was looking around for that. What else was there? Let's see. Okay, he was in this race. Let me see here. I swear to God, if Rusty wins the title again. Archer breaks as usual. The championship was won by a car with 4 wheels. Yeah, I hate to say it, but that is true. A car with 4 wheels did win the title. So something to look out for there. Yeah, I'm just going through the rosters right now. Making sure I got every car that I need. Let's see. Okay, who am I missing? Okay, that's 25. I heard in 2001 Burger King was going to be an associate sponsor for Dale Earnhardt. That made me think of how cool a Dale Earnhardt Oreo Burger King car would look in SNL. Huh, interesting. I didn't know that. I know they sponsored like Steve Park's very first Cup starts in real life. That 14 Burger King car, I think it was. Man. Let me see something. Whoa. Yeah, that's an Arca Breaks moment. Goodness gracious. Yeah, pretty big hit there for Jake Finch. Ugh. Oh, I had Shauna in this race when I did this. Okay, I think I did like a fan vote winner thing. I think that's what it was. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Where the heck are the other cars at? Let's see. Oh yeah, the 2. Let's see, what else am I missing here? Yeah, 3 more cars. Okay. Almost there, guys. I also like have this kind of OCD thing where I need to like make sure gotta make sure I got every car. Gotta make sure I got every car. Yep, that's right. Okay. Yeah, fan vote. Thank you. Okay. Throttle was stuck on the 20 car. Oh gosh. Yeah, I haven't muted, so that's why I haven't been listening to it as much. Wait, that's why I did. Okay, where is? I'll just do this. That'll work. Okay, there's one other car I need to dig out. Let's see, which car is it? Oh, that one's been right in front of me the whole time. Schoonover. Okay, perfect. So that should be all 30 of them. Got a 3 there. The 40, the 22 on the 5. Yep. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yep. Okay. That should be the roster. Alright, cool. And there were 75 laps. Okay. Okay, I should be ready to go now. But yeah, just to talk about SNL 98. Cup season's done. Just need a couple exhibitions to do. Champion's been crowned and all that. Not going to give anything away, but it was very, very exciting. I will leave you with that. It was very, very, very exciting. So, I'll leave you with that. Will SNL keep the year-end points past 03? Will the playoffs still become a thing? Again, that's one of those things where that is to be determined, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there, for sure. I'll probably just leave it as that. So, there's a lot to look forward to for SNL 98 and all that. So, one last thing I want to double check is how I did the format for this thing. Scroll down. Come on. I know I wrote it down somewhere. Come on. Where are you? Okay. 75 laps across 3 segments. Okay, it looks like I went to lap 30. Okay, so it was 30, 30, 15. So 30, 60, 75. Okay, cool. I don't know if it's already in the plans, but after finding out about NASCAR possibly racing in Indianapolis back in 1982, I think it'd be fun to see a racing video on that. Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. All right, well, let's no more waiting. Let's jump right into this, right? All right. Whew. All right. Take a drink real quick. All right.
Drivers, to your cars.
All right. Texas Terry. Terry Labonte winning the pole. Kyle Petty will start second. Patty Moyes third. Followed by Alan Kowicki and Jeff Gordon.
Drivers, to your cars.
All right, so we begin the countdown. I'll look through the starting lineup really quick for you guys. Terry Labonte will start from the pole. Kyle Petty will start second. Then it's, I forget it does that. Patty Moyes and Alan Kowicki. Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace. Neil Bonnet, Rob Moroso. Ricky Rudd, Davey Allison. Then it's Joe Nemechek, Dale Earnhardt, Dick Trickle, and Eddie Bierschwell. Terry Schoonover, Darrell Waltrip, Greg Sachs, Ernie Irvin, Sterling Marlin, Tim Richmond, Bill Elliott, and Bubba Nissen. And then we got Mika Hakkinen, Shauna Robinson. Then we got Christian Fittipaldi and Kenny Brack, Ken Schrader, Mark Thompson, Kenny Wallace, and Mark Martin. That's right. Gosh, I have a feeling I'm going to get the 2 Budweiser cars mixed up. It wouldn't come as a surprise to me. Go ahead and accelerate a little bit so we can get this going. Yeah, sorry it took me a bit there. It's one of those things where I just want to double check and make sure I have all the correct cars and I have every car that was accounted for in the actual International All-Star. So, now I got everything ready to go, and we will get to business here, and business will be booming here in just a matter of moments. Hey, the IRP ARCA race, I was there. Of course, Connor Zilic won that race.
Drivers, start your engines!
All right, you heard the command. And here we go. We are rolling. We're about to get the International All-Star underway. Segments are 30, 30, 15. Hey, Hey Ferris, what's up, buddy? Yep, it's a mock race. We are doing a mock of basically the entire International All-Star from Sunday Night Lights 1996. So Labonte and Kyle Petty will lead us to the green flag. "75 laps for one of NASCAR's biggest races yet. 30 cars in contention to win this one. Labonte, Petty, Moyes, Kowicki lead them to the green flag, and the International All-Star is underway from Atlanta." And Terry Labonte pulls away quick as Patty Moyes contends for second with Kyle Petty, her teammate. Terry Labonte leads the way. And that inside line is Moyes, Jeff Gordon, and Neil Bonnet. As the 30 Winston Cup cars roar down the backstretch here at this mile and a half circuit here in Atlanta, Hampton, Georgia, to be exact. As Terry Labonte, the two-time champion, leads the way, and Patty Moyes clears for second. She's got Jeff Gordon behind her. And now, battle for the lead. Patty Moyes looks to the inside. Side by side are Moyes and Labonte. And Moyes barely by inches leading that lap. That almost looked like a classic Atlanta finish for sure, as Moyes clears Labonte for the lead. Jeff Gordon now wants second. He may have some help from Neil Bonnet, and Gordon will indeed take second from the pole sitter. And now Gordon to the inside of Moyes. Side by side off turn 2. Jeff Gordon looking to have the upper hand here as they go into turn 3. And new leader. It's the Indiana native, Jeff Gordon. Now Neil Bonnet and Patty Moyes duel for second. Gordon looking to pull away in that special McDonald's Olympic paint scheme for Atlanta 1996. And yeah, with the 81 to 97 car set, it is coming along. I am piecing that together. I'm going to continue to piece that together, and I'm hoping to have that out really soon. Preferably, I'd like to get that out before SNL 98 if I can. And like I said, I'm just slowly been piecing that together. Just had some other things going on, but I will continue to work on that for sure. Seven laps complete, coming to lap 8 now. Alan Kowicki, Alan Kowicki jumps up to second place from Neil Bonnet. And now we have this top 5 of Gordon, Kowicki, Bonnet, Moyes, and Rusty Wallace. Kyle Petty, Terry Labonte behind them. And now Alan Kowicki, as indeed it is the Wonder Boy and the Underbird, as the Underbird takes the lead. These are the world's best race car drivers, and they are showing it here so far. Lots of lead changes, and we're only just coming to lap 10 in this race. Neil Bonnet all over the back of Alan Kawicki as they head into turn 3. Jeff Gordon has settled into third, but he is climbing his way back. But look out, trouble. Rusty Wallace now looking to take fourth from Patty Moyes. Battle up front. Here comes Neil Bonnet to the inside of Kawicki. Neil Bonnet, in what is his swan song season, 96 was his final full-time season in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, looking to go out big with a win at the International All-Star. He takes the lead from Kawicki, and Jeff Gordon wants second. Rambunctious Rusty. Yep. Oh man, the ARCA race is still under a red flag. Goodness gracious! Oh, now they're back under yellow. I must have said something. That's probably what it was. Anyway, Bonnet has taken the lead. Gordon wants second, but yes, Rusty Wallace, he's coming. Out of the 3 series that was introduced in 1996, which is the best? Oh, I think there's something to enjoy about all 3 of them. You look at IMSA Stock GT, and it provides a good race. It provides a good series for a lot of the guys who have been used to running on road courses, and now they can transition into more of a stock car setting while still doing road courses, but it gives them more of a feeling of driving a stock car. And then you got the Super Sportsman Series that races at a lot of grassroots short tracks, but there's a lot of fun racing there. And then of course the Truck Series provides some great action-packed racing too on some of the bigger tracks. Alex, don't say Rusty is coming. Oh, yeah, don't tell NASCAR. Because, I may end up in one of those videos. Meanwhile, Neil Bonnet continues to lead. Things have settled down just a bit, but now Kyle Petty looks for third place, trying to get to the quarter panel of the number 2, and he does. But Rusty Wallace still has the upper hand on that outside line. Can Petty come fighting back? Still battling side by side there. Moyes, Kawicki, and Morosa are back there too. Dude just said it. There, he said it again. Stuff like that. Kyle Petty, the third. Kawicki now trying to take fourth place from Rusty Wallace. Speaking of which, have you guys seen those? It was from the very early '90s, might have been late '80s, but Alan Kawicki and Rusty Wallace did a couple Xerox commercials together. They're pretty funny. While male yellow cars look great, the drink itself is mid. Every time I hear mid, I just think of AEW wrestler MJF. They call it the Midwest because every single thing in it is mid, I remember because he was trashing on Cincinnati in that same promo. He said, Skyline Chili, mid. Your Cincinnati Reds, which haven't won a World Series since 1990, mid. And every single one of you is mid. Meanwhile, new driver in second. That's Kyle Petty. And Kawicki is looking to follow, but they are still following Neil Bonnet in that 31 machine. Bonnet has looked pretty strong here. So we are 10 laps away from the end of segment 1. Oh, excuse me. Can Kyle Petty chase down Neil Bonnet? Looks to the inside. He's got an opportunity here. They're side by side in the turns 1 and 2. The 1992 champion, Kyle Petty, looking to take the lead. He's got Kawicki behind him. And Kyle Petty will take the lead. And let's see if Kawicki can take second away. As Kyle Petty comes back to the start and finish line, we're under 10 laps left of segment 1. Down the backstretch, we have this front pack of about 7 cars all together here, from Kyle Petty back to Rusty Wallace in the 2. Meanwhile, battle for third. Looking to see some shuffling here. Jeff Gordon side by side with Alan Kawicki. Rob Moroso just about side by side with Patty Moyes. And Kawicki making good work of that outside line. He sticks to third. But it is still Sapco Racing's Kyle Petty out in front in that mellow yellow Pontiac. Those nice green, yellow, red, and black colors. Driving for Felix Sabatis. Rob Moroso trying to get past Gordon. Rusty Wallace got past Patty Moyes, who led earlier in the race. Perhaps right now, these 7 cars could be the ones contending for the win. There's about 5 laps left here in the first segment. Kyle Petty still cruising out in front. And Tony Breininger is currently 6th in the ARCA race. Sponsorship on that 25 car. And Will Kimmel running 7th. Nice to see him out there. Getting close to the end of the first segment of the International All-Star. It's been getting pretty clean so far. Can we get an all-time wins list in SNL? It would be cool. We'd love to work on something like that for sure. I know Ferris has been helping us with stats behind the scenes as well. It would be cool to showcase that, just to see the differences between real life and this timeline for sure. But again, that's just something where we'll cross that bridge when we get there, and if there's time and if there's a good time to release that or showcase that, then certainly we'd like to do that. Final lap of segment 1. Bonnet and Kawicki trying to make a last-second move on Kyle Petty. But I don't know if they're going to do it. Bonnet may have a shot coming off 4. And instead, Kyle Petty's going to lead him back. And he leads as we head to the caution to end segment 1 of the International All-Star from Atlanta. So it's Petty, Bonnet, Kawicki, Moroso, Gordon, Rusty Wallace, Moyes, Terry Labonte, Dick Trickle, Joe Nemechek, your top 10, as everybody is expected to make their way down pit road and get some service done on their cars. Do you know how many wins Rusty Wallace has going into 98? I don't know the exact number, but that's something worth looking at for sure. Everybody making their way down pit road. Looks like everybody is definitely going to come down, it looks like. Indeed, that will be true. Kyle Petty leading all 30 cars down pit road, and these crew members will get to work on their cars, and here we go. Who's going to get out first? Who's going to get out second? I don't know what I'm saying. Who's going to get out first? Who's going to have the best pit stop? Who's not going to have a good stop, perhaps? Something to think about for sure, as all 30 cars are on pit road. Pit road is busy here at Atlanta. Neil Bonnet pulls out of his stop, and he's going to get out in front of Kyle Petty. Then it's Kawicki, Moroso, Dick Trickle. Where did he come from? Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, Terry Schoonover, Bubba Nissen, Joe Nemechek. We definitely had some shuffling going around coming off pit road here. Terry Labonte is still on pit road. Patty Moyes had a bad stop too. What in the world happened there? Yeah, Moyes and Labonte took quite a long time there on pit road, and they lost a lot of positions. That is a shame for those two. He has 21 fares? Okay. Really? Only 21? Wow. Interesting. Then again, when you look at his 4 titles going in, it's just been a matter of consistency. Yep, I did see that Breidinger and Kimmel battling for 6th place there. I know Kimmel always runs the Salem races since that's where that whole family is from. Regardless, it's nice to see Will Kimmel out there. I remember when I went to the 2015 Kentucky race and he made his Cup debut that day, driving for Go Fast on the 32. I remember that. Excuse me. And we have a caution, as Larry McReynolds would say. Excuse me. Braden Laster is running 12th. That's pretty good. I'd say it's pretty good. Oh, is that one of the mandatory cautions? I think that's what that is. Anyway. So yeah, our top 10 looks like this as we're heading into segment number 2. That'll take us to lap number 60. So, it is Neil Bonnet, Kyle Petty, followed by Alan Kawicki, Rob Moroso, and Dick Trickle rounding out the top 5. Then it's Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, Terry Schoonover, Bubba Nissen, Joe Nemechek, and as I noted earlier, Patty Moyes and Terry Labonte with a bad pit stop. They are all the way in the back. Yeah, Brayton is in one of Wayne Peterson's cars. He's in the 06 like he was last week. Got to meet Mr. Peterson. Very nice guy. Very nice guy. You know, and I will say this. I think what's cool about ARCA is, I know people are like, you know, oh, it's the same usual cars winning, the development drivers from Venturini and all that. But I think what's cool about ARCA is the fact that there's just guys like a Brayton Laster or Zachary Tinkle or Presley Sora or all these, or even like, the Goulets at Rice and these people who really get to be able to race, on a more national level, and getting that kind of an opportunity. And it's a good step up from running all of the grassroots tracks, and I think that's what's cool about ARCA. And it's just drivers from different kinds of backgrounds who, end up running in that series. It's pretty cool. Coming to the green, he'll take Wayne Peterson to Cup glory. You hit it. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. We're back underway in the International All-Star. Neil Bonnet leads him to the green flag with Kyle Petty in second. The goats of ARCA are Frank Kimmel and Bobby Gerhardt. And don't forget Tim Steele. Tim Steele should definitely be in that list as well. And Kyle Petty already thinking about taking the lead from the 31, but he's going to change his mind. He didn't feel like he was going to make the pass there, so he's going to wait for the right time. Kawicki and Moroso, third and fourth, and here comes Kyle Petty. He's to the inside of Neil Bonnet. Off turn 4. Can Petty get there? He's not going to be able to. And he's going to have to stay back behind the 31 of Neil Bonnet. Meanwhile, Rob Moroso takes third away from Alan Kawicki. Jeff Gordon up to 5th now, as Dick Trickle is losing some spots. He's going to lose, I believe that's 7th place from Bubba Nissen. And now Rusty is working on Jeff Gordon. He is moving. Oh yeah, Frank Kimmel. Yep, he was in NASCAR Thunder 2003. Yep. Battle for second. Rob Moroso to the inside of Kyle Petty, and Moroso will take second away. Maybe his pit crew will not screw him over this time around. Into turn 3. Moroso continuing to hold off Kyle Petty, and he's going to see if he can work on catching his teammate in Neil Bonnet. Kawicki and Wallace side by side for 4th. Back in 6th is Bubba Nissen. Now Kyle Petty wants second back. And not going to be able to clear Moroso as they come off turn 4. Yet, anyway. Now they're going to head into turn 1. Petty will indeed clear him. And look out. Here comes Rusty Wallace. He is on the move. Up to 3rd now. Will he get 2nd? He's been up here, but now he's really up here in contention for this win. As Kawicki and Nissen battle for position back there. And everybody is trying to chase down Neil Bonnet. And again, this will take us to lap 60. That'll be the end of segment 2. And then we'll have a quick dash to the finish to determine who's going to win the International All-Star. And everybody's just in a single file line. They're trying to chase down Bonnet. That 31 car has really come to life here. So he's going to be hard to beat for sure. Top 5 is Bonnet, Petty, Wallace, Moroso, Kawicki. Rob Moroso is both the Kevin Harvick and Mike Skinner of the SNL timeline. Imagine if Bubba Gump Shrimp becomes a secondary sponsor for Bubba Nissan. Imagine Bubba Nissan ends up driving a Nissan. Bubba Nissan. Because I remember one stream we actually tried to come up with different cars names for drivers. Kyle Petty's been holding on to second pretty well, but he is not catching Neil Bonnet. Back here we got Bubba Nissen and Alan Kawicki, the two owner drivers. The two best owner drivers for sure in the field. As they battle side by side for, that is 5th place. What can I say, man? Rusty's been good lately. Now, again, I've done all the races in '98, and like I said, we'll just have to wait and see how it all happens. Of course, well, I've seen what happens, but I think you guys are gonna love seeing what happens for sure. Again, lots of exciting things are coming, so stay tuned. The races are pretty much done. Just got a couple more exhibitions to do, and we'll get moving. Nissen works on Moroso. Of course, these two were battling for the championship in '96. Meanwhile, look who's caught the leader. It is Rusty Wallace. All over the back of that 31 car. Man, that black and yellow number 2 is just fast. Hey, they're giving Brayton a little screen time. All right. Hey, there's the man himself. Yeah, they're showcasing Brayton Laster on the broadcast currently. Oh, yeah, they're showing the pit sign. Yes. Did you guys see that? Did you see the pit sign that... yeah, there is no rule about how big the My Pit sign can be. Oh, man. That's funny. Let's see. Super Rusty. A hint at SNL 98 for the upset winners. I don't want to give anything away, of course. I'll be generic. Big moments are going to happen. Like, pretty big moments, you know. Exciting moments. Definitely some exciting finishes. And all that for sure. So, you know. Just going to continue building up the hype and building for it, because we try to, this rate, it's almost like we're trying to make every season bigger than the last, so that's what we're shooting for. Less than 10 laps from the end of segment 2. Neil Bonnet still leading. Rusty Wallace, though, peeking to the inside. Nothing there. Meanwhile, Bubba Nissen's moved up to 3rd, and Rob Moroso has been following. Bonnet's definitely had a fast car here for sure. And looks like the ARCA race is back underway. Pretty much looks like oh, whoa, contact between LeVar Scott and Corey Day there. Oof. Yeah, I can just tell how bumpy that track is. Whew. And Rusty Wallace all over the back of Neil Bonnet. And we also have Nissan, Moroso, and Kyle Petty up there as well. Oh, no! Oh, dear God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. God bless America. Sorry, I don't know who's watching the ARCA race. Corey Day was battling with LeVar Scott. He lost control, spun, came back up on the track. Tony Breidinger spun and wrecked right into him. Nothing but pain. Nothing but pain. That might be a red flag. Yeah, because the 6 and the 28 were kind of beating and banging there, and the 28 got into the 6 and just lost it. He spun out, and, well, Breidinger was probably trying to, avoid hitting the 28 because he was coming back up on the track and just nowhere for her to go. Jeez. Getting towards the end of segment 2 in this race, the International All-Star. Still Bonnet, followed by Wallace. Okay. Meanwhile, Moroso and Nissan are battling side by side. Kyle Petty by himself in 5th. That was a hard hit. And battle for the lead coming to the end of segment 2. It's Rusty Wallace and Neil Bonnet. Wallace to the inside. Moroso catching up to them. And looks like Rusty Wallace will take the lead. They're going to be pretty close coming back to the start-finish line. And Rusty by inches as we head to the caution. So Rusty Wallace takes the lead. Yep, saw that. The red flag's back out at Salem. Whew. And with that, Neil Bonnet's going to have to slow up to, I think, give that position to Rusty. And we're having a little over a 10-lap dash to the finish for the International All-Star. And here we go. Pit road is busy once again. Who's going to have the pit stop that will help them win this race? This is for all the money. This is for all the gold, I should say. And Jeff Gordon is out of his stall really quick. He must have done a 2-tire stop or a splash and go. He was in and out. Lots of strategies taking place here. And I wouldn't be too surprised if Jeff Gordon ends up pitting after the restart. I don't know. Like, I'm going to have to quickly look at that pit stop. I'm sorry. It felt like he was in and out. Yeah, he was. He was in and out. He was like, splash and go. And bye. Oh, goodness. Oh, okay. If you have chat enabled, you can check what he did with it. Okay. Yeah, knowing how NR 2003 is, I have a feeling that Jeff Gordon is going to pit. Because something like this happened in the actual International All-Star when I did this. Because I remember I had something like this happen. I don't know if you guys can hear fireworks going off, but a park near where I live is having like a fun, like, little festival thing going on. And they have a fireworks show there at the end, so that's probably what that is. Yeah, 2 tires looks like it was the popular call because Jeff Gordon's up here. Dale Earnhardt is now up here. Terry Schoonover is up here. And Darrell Waltrip is up here. So this could be an interesting finish if nobody pits. Are we sure that Gordon doesn't have the Rainbow Warriors on his pit crew? Yeah, it looked like the one just had a splash and go. So, lights are off on the pace car. And we're going to have about 12 laps to go. Excuse me. It's Jeff Gordon, Neil Bonnet, Dale Earnhardt, Rob Moroso, Terry Schoonover, Bubba Nissen, Darrell Waltrip, Kyle Petty, Rusty Wallace, and Mark Martin. That is your top 10. They're not Rainbow Warriors. They're Golden Archers. Yes! Gordon's not the Rainbow Warrior in this timeline. He's the Golden Archer. Who's going to capture gold here in Atlanta? Will it be Jeff Gordon? Will it be Neil Bonnet? Will it be Dale Earnhardt? Or Rob Moroso? Or will it be somebody else? Pace car off pit road. This is it. The final stage. The final segment of the International All-Star. Green flag. Back out in the air. "12 laps to go." That is all that is left in this race. And we're going to see if any leaders end up pitting as they go into turns 3 and 4. I hope not, but let's see what happens here. Yep, I called it. All those guys up there ended up pitting. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. This is exactly what happened in the real life. Or, well, I guess the actual International All-Star. So, yeah, Gordon, Earnhardt, Schoonover, and Petty will not win this race. They ended up pitting because NR 2003. So that puts Neil Bonnet out in front. And this is what led to, this is how Patty Moyes won the actual thing in SNL 96. So now it's an RCR 1-2, and none of it involves Dale Earnhardt. Again, the logic that is NR 2003, ladies and gentlemen. Bubba Nissen to the inside of Moroso. So now the question is, as we have 10 to go, can Moroso and Nissen, can they chase down Neil Bonnet? Ooh, sorry for the lag there, guys. Moroso does get around Nissen for a second. He almost does. But Nissen's charging back on the outside. Wow, that was impressive. That 59 car really stuck to his line, and now he is pulling away. Checking on those lappers. They're still quite a bit away. So now Bubba Nissen is reeling in Neil Bonnet, who has had the best car all day, or has had one of the best cars all day. Nissen peeks to the inside. Side by side for the lead in the International All-Star. Nissen just about clears Bonnet. They're still side by side coming off turn 2. Can Rob Moroso reel them in? Into turn 3, Bubba Nissen, for now, clears Neil Bonnet. Can he clear him coming off 4? Not quite yet, but looks like he will go into 1. Now Rob Moroso, the two drivers that ended up contending for the 96 Winston Cup title in this mix, as they're going to come to the start and finish line with 5 laps to go, but Bonnet is still hanging on for second. Can he fight back? Into turn 1, Bonnet still over the back of the 59. It's come down to Nissen, Bonnet, and Moroso, unless Waltrip and Martin can catch these guys. Not a whole lot of time left. Going to come to 4 laps to go at the start and finish line. It's still Bubba Nissen out in front. Can Bonnet catch back to him, or can Nissen hold him off? Moroso starting to lose ground. 3 laps to go. Off turn 2. Bonnet trying to get a run going. If he could perhaps get that one last marquee win of his Winston Cup career, he's only going to have 2 laps left to do so. 2 to go for Nissen. I shouldn't say side by side. They're still battling here. Bonnet's got a shot, but can he pounce? Can he find the right opportunity, the right chance? He'll have 1 lap left to do so. I feel like that might have been his chance, but Nissen slammed the door on him. Off turn 4. White flag for Bubba Nissen. Final lap of the International All-Star. Time is running out for Neil Bonnet. Down the backstretch for the final time. Nissen looking to take it home as they head into turns 3 and 4. And it looks like he's going to do so. For the final time today, coming off turn 4, checkered flag. And it's going to be Bubba Nissen winning the International All-Star. Neil Bonnet will come in second. Moroso third, Waltrip fourth. Martin 5th, and it's Rusty Walsh, Shauna Robinson, Kowicki. Then you got Tim Richmond and Patty Moyes rounding out the top 10. Oh, man. Exciting finish there. It's a shame that those 4 leaders kind of broke things up there on that restart. I knew something was up when Jeff Gordon only took gas. I was like, oh no, he's going to come back down. Oh, yeah, no worries on the graphic. It's all good. So there's your final finishing order there. And, yeah. Well, it's certainly been fun. It was fun getting to look back on this and, just reminiscing on that for SNL 96. So, like I said, I'm working on Racing Infinity Volume 27. And I expect to have that out next weekend. And then after that, it's full on for SNL 98 and getting that video out. So we are getting really, really close. So yeah, it's a lot to look forward to for sure. And stay tuned for more information as we continue on with that. And all that good stuff. So if you guys have any more questions, comments, concerns, anything of that nature, I am all ears before I head off for the evening. As the ARCA race is about to get back underway, I'm assuming Brayton's actually going to be 10th then after he gets past the 25 and the 28 who are done. So that's actually a pretty big deal there. I'd love to see that. And, yeah, actually, there aren't that many cars left on the track either. Goodness. But I could tell, I mean, Salem is a challenging track, and Gustine nearly killed LeVar Scott. Okay. They are beating and banging. You can just tell how rough that track is. Oh, my God, the 6 just put the 55 in the wall. We got beef. We got beef. Oh, my God, that was nuts. When does the Motorsport Olympic takes place in SNL? Right? Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Like I said, this was something that we had in the making for like 2 years. I mean, and it's fun to kind of look back on that, and it's fun how we're able to create stories with something like that, because in the actual thing itself, Patty Moyes won the International All-Star. That's a massive deal. I mean, for a race on an international scale, I mean, wow, that's major. And of course, Kenny Brack winning the Open and doing it in a car that doesn't have as great as equipment, the International Open. So, it's fun just getting to do these races and then making stories out of it. Yeah, I mean, Gus Dean and LeVar Scott were beating and banging. I think Scott put Dean in the wall. Yeah, get Arby's on the phone. We have got beef. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Because of Breidinger and Day wrecking, Brayton is actually 10th now. Let's go. Meanwhile, Will Kimmel up to 4th. He's battling Gustine for that position. And boy, Will. Oh, that track looks rough. Goodness gracious. Yeah, that's a track that I'm surprised I haven't gone to yet. I've been meaning to get to Salem. I just haven't been able to. But I'd really like to get to that track at some point. I know it's just north of Louisville. Definitely a fun little short track with certainly a lot of history. But yeah, stay tuned for more updates and everything else. Like I said, I'll continue to get to work on the video for Racing Infinity, and after that, it'll be on to SNL 98 most likely. So it's a big video. I'll certainly say that. Gustine is slow on the track. I wonder if he's got a tire down. Yep, that's a tire. He's in the wall. Ooh. Well, Gustine was able to get on the pit road, but yeah, that is a tire down for sure. The right front, and I don't think he's going to get to his pit stall. Well then. Oh right, William Swalch is leading. Yeah, I can actually hear the fireworks going off. It's funny. Let's see. I'm not entirely sure about the sponsor requests thing right now. Like I said, it just comes down to the realisticness of the time period and everything else, and what sponsors were in the sport, and all that. We have discussions about what works, what doesn't. But it just depends on what makes the most sense surrounding the time period and all that. Yeah, like I said, I can hear fireworks outside the house right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but yeah. Let me know if you guys have anything else to ask, and if not, I'll probably pack it up for the night. I'll certainly have to see what's on the schedule for the Olympics tomorrow, too. Excuse me. You too, Ferris. I appreciate it. But, let's see. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and log off for the night. Once again, I appreciate you guys for watching and tuning in as always. This was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. And, yep, stay tuned for more information on Racing Infinity Volume 27. It's going to be a fun exhibition race on the Paris circuit. And it definitely should be a good one. Because I got to look out my window real quick. Can I see the fireworks from here? Because they sound close. Oh, hey, Brayton's now up to 9th. Oh, wow, yeah, I could... There's a big tree. There's like a big tree. From my... Oh, wow, yeah, that must be the finale. They're really going off. Well, that was cool. I could see the fireworks from my window. There's a tree blocking it a little bit, but that was cool. Alright. Appreciate you guys as always. Take it easy, and I will see you guys next time.